measures in the building codes, it's the only way to ensure that homeowners buying a home can count on the basic energy efficiency that every home should have. And it makes sure then that all of the builders are on a level playing field, that they are all using the modern codes and standards for making homes energy efficient. So I certainly hope that that in fact will be retained, that the energy provisions will be retained, and that will continue to improve the quality and energy performance of homes in Louisiana.
Well, I understand that the greening, the entire greening that you're interested in is energy efficiency, but the greening of a city could involve many other things, such as air pollution or disposition of waste. Is anything happening in those directions?
There certainly are things happening, and I think you make a very good point. All of these pieces do ultimately fit together. You kind of think of, you can't think of them as being isolated, one piece just standing by itself. One connects to the other, and fortunately you find that what's good for one reason is very often good for many reasons. That energy efficiency is in fact saving you money on your energy bill. It's providing work opportunity for others. It is improving the environment, including reducing air pollution that comes from fossil fuel power generation. But you've heard conversations recently also about recycling, such a basic thing across so much of the civilized world and the United States, and yet New Orleans is behind. It's hard to understand why, but recycling being one of those. You also heard at the conference discussion about coastal protection, wetlands protection. We have to understand that our state's environmental health is, in some respects, entirely contingent upon the ability for us to protect the coastline. Because without doing so, we're very vulnerable to storms like Hurricane Katrina and the hurricanes that have done less damage but certainly kept us on watch subsequently.
Well, greening, and first thing that may come to some people's minds would be planting trees. Well,
sure.
Well, is there some special effort in that direction?
The one that has been, I think, the most exciting and had a real impact is an organization called Hike for Katrina, and Hike for Katrina. And the origins behind that are interesting in their own right, but the purpose of that organization is to replant the trees that were lost after Hurricane Katrina. And you think about the look and feel of a neighborhood and the sense of quality of life. You compare cities that have very few trees to those that really have what's called an urban canopy. New Orleans is one with an urban canopy, and it's instant that you can feel how pleasant a city is when it has those trees, and why it would be important to restore them.
Doesn't vegetation also help, for cleaner air quality?
It does. Another thing very important in a city like ours is water management. All of those trees are pulling a great deal of water from the ground, rainwater. We have storm events here in New Orleans. The cities that don't have good trees and open park space wind up having a lot of water in the streets. That's an issue that we still deal with because of our sea level. But the water that trees pull up reduce the stress on our pumping systems. And you know that those things are running, night and day. When we have big storm events, they have to work very, very hard. You can think of the trees as being, thousands of individual pumping stations that are pulling that water out of the ground.
All right. Well, we have just a couple of minutes left, and I know that in a subsequent program we're going to talk about how homeowners can make their homes more energy efficient.
That's right.
Is there anything else that you'd like to cover, before we have to end this show?
Well, I think that you started us out with this conference and people coming together, including nonprofit organizations, public officials, and business, what is very important to recognize is that the steps we want to take that improve environmental quality and help, for instance, with lowering energy bills, are actually places of great economic opportunity. There is business opportunity, there is job creation opportunity, which is good for the city. And this is the time and place for New Orleans. All of the pieces are now fitting together to run these businesses and to get people employed. The new administration, both City Council and the Mayor, have opportunity themselves to enact good policy that ensures an economic impact from all of these efforts. So we look forward to working with them.
Well, I hope that in some small way this program may have gotten the word out to some part of our population that these things are going on and that everyone should be a participant in one way or another. Mm-hmm. And I do want to thank you for being here, and I thank the Alliance for Affordable Energy for its big efforts in this respect. And then I also want to remind our folks that we will have another show and tell you how to make your home more energy efficient. Thanks for watching us.